Hello BBN. Christian Collins reschedules his visit to Kentucky. Should this guy land in Kentucky? Let's see what's new about the recruit on the Cats' radar. When talking about the future of Kentucky basketball, it's impossible not to mention Christian Collins, a five-star forward who is about to redefine expectations for the program. His rescheduled visit to the Blue and White State between October 3rd and 5th is more than just a stop on his recruiting journey. It's a clear sign that Kentucky remains a desirable destination for top college basketball talent. Collins brings with him not only an impressive physique, but also a diverse skill set that can transform any team into a serious contender for titles. The young power forward from St. John Bosco, California, is already considered one of the top prospects in the 2026 class, ranking third in the Rivals industry rankings, and being considered the second best small forward in the country. These numbers, however, are only part of the story. What truly stands out about Collins is his versatility. He's the kind of player who can do practically everything on the court. Whether shooting from distance, dominating the paint with his rebounding skills, or creating opportunities for his teammates, he's the kind of athlete who makes fans dream big and coaches plan even bolder plays. Collins' connection to Kentucky seems natural, especially when you consider the enthusiasm with which he speaks about Coach Mark Pope. In recent interviews, Collins has highlighted Pope's positive energy and constant support, comparing him to a proud father. This player-coach relationship could be exactly what Kentucky needs to attract such a promising talent. Pope, known for his ability to mold young players and prepare them for both college basketball success and the next level of the professional game, seems like the perfect fit to polish a diamond in the rough like Collins. Furthermore, Collins' presence at Kentucky could represent a significant shift in the team's dynamic. With his versatility, he has the potential to become the central player in a system that values smart movement and offensive efficiency. Imagine an athlete capable of switching between positions, constantly creating problems for opposing defenses. He can be the primary scorer one game, the distributor the next, and still secure crucial rebounds in decisive moments. This adaptability is exactly what Kentucky needs to remain competitive in an increasingly challenging college basketball landscape. But what truly sets Collins apart from other elite recruits is his mindset. He demonstrates a mature understanding of his own game and the responsibilities that come with star status. When he discusses his strengths, versatility, height, shooting ability, and rebounding, it's clear that he not only knows his skills, but is also committed to improving them. It's important to note that Collins is also considering other options, such as USC and Oregon, which heightens the importance of this official visit to Kentucky. For the Blue and White program, this is an opportunity to showcase not only state-of-the-art facilities and a rich tradition of success, but also a clear plan for integrating Collins into the team and maximizing his impact. Kentucky needs to convince him that this is where he can reach his full potential, both on and off the court. Ultimately, Collins' decision will be determined by a combination of factors from personal connections to development opportunities. However, it's hard to imagine a scenario in which Kentucky isn't among the favorites. With its winning culture, experienced leadership from Mark Pope, and the chance to be the next big name in a storied line of college basketball stars, Kentucky offers something special for Collins. Let's go. Jasper Johnson's choice of basketball over football is one of those defining moments that shape not only the fate of a career, but also the future of a program. It's not just a personal story of overcoming and adapting, but a decision that expresses the man's passion for doing for his team. Jasper comes from a near-legendary football lineage, with deep roots in the sports culture of Lexington and, more specifically, at the University of Kentucky. His father, Dennis Johnson, was a household name on the SEC football field, while his grandfather Alvis and his uncle, Craig Yeast, helped cement this family tradition in the blue and white heart of the state. From an early age, Jasper breathed football. It was part of his identity, as natural as walking or running. However, the young athlete found another passion on the basketball court, a flame that grew until it became impossible to ignore. And that's when destiny knocked. With the guidance of key figures in his life, like his father and grandfather, he embarked on a journey that took him away from the court, but brought him closer to a greater dream. Jasper's transition to basketball wasn't easy, especially when he traded the familiarity of Woodford County for the brutal competitiveness of Link Academy in Missouri. There, he faced older, more experienced, and often more talented opponents. But it was precisely in this forge of challenges that his game began to mature. The move, though painful at first, proved fundamental in honing the skills that today make him a national prospect. Looking back, Jasper recognizes the value of those sacrifices and the wisdom of his family in pointing him in the right direction. This resilient mindset is exactly the kind of attribute that transforms players into leaders on and off the court. When Jasper signed with Kentucky, Coach Mark Pope knew from the start that he was getting more than just an elite recruit. He was bringing in someone who had proven himself capable of adapting, evolving, and thriving in highly competitive environments. For a program constantly striving to innovate and reinvent itself, Jasper's arrival is a breath of fresh air. His versatility, combined with his impressive height and reliable shot, offers the team endless tactical possibilities. Furthermore, his prior experience dealing with constant pressure could be just the thing needed to take the squad to new heights. Jasper's impact on Kentucky goes beyond statistics. He embodies the idea that great stories are built on difficult decisions and hard work. By choosing basketball, he not only followed a calling but also opened doors for himself and the program. With Mark Pope, Kentucky has sought to revitalize its identity, blending tradition with innovation. Jasper is a perfect example of this philosophy, a player who carries with him the heritage of an iconic sports family, but who also represents the dynamic future of college basketball. As he continues to refine his game and training and absorb Pope's teachings, it's clear that his journey is more than simply a choice between two sports. He was born to play basketball, and now, speaking of football, in 2025, even with the inevitable roster changes, there's an optimism surrounding the Wildcats secondary, a unit that promises not only to fill the voids left by significant losses, but also to elevate the overall defense. Maxwell Hairston's departure to the NFL was a significant blow. His name echoed in conversations about the best defensive backs in the country, and his presence on the field often ensured that one side of the field remained virtually inaccessible to opponents. However, rather than seeing this departure as a weakness, Stoops sees an opportunity for other players to emerge and demonstrate their worth. The coach's confidence is evident. The secondary can be a real strength of this team, he said, with the conviction of someone who has seen the potential of these young athletes blossom in training. The core of the secondary remains robust, with pieces already tested at a high level. J.Q. Hardaway, who started all 12 games last season, returns with the experience needed to lead this group. Alongside him, safeties Jordan Lovett and Ty Bryant bring consistency and tactical intelligence, indispensable qualities for leading a defense that finished fourth in the SEC against the pass the previous year. But the difference in this unit may lie with those who have been overlooked so far, whether due to injuries or the inexperience typical of rookies. DJ Waller, a transfer from Michigan, is a clear example of this. Despite missing 5 games in 2024 due to injury, his skills were widely praised by the coaching staff. When healthy, Waller demonstrated game-reading ability and refined technique, traits that could make him an immediate standout. Terhian Nichols, another crucial player, arrived with high expectations but had his first season cut short by shoulder surgery. Now recovered, he is ready to assume a more prominent role, with the support of his teammates and the coaching staff. Additionally, 2 sophomores promise to make a qualitative leap in their contributions. Cam Dooley, a 4-star recruit, displays impressive athleticism and will be crucial as the third safety. His versatility allows him to quickly adjust to game situations, offering flexibility to the defense. Quashid Scott, who competes for snaps with Jansen Dunn at the nickel position, appears poised to become a key player in the near future. With the speed to cover open space and the courage to face physical blocks, Scott has everything it takes to establish himself as a complete player. I think he's going to be a very good football player, said Stoops, highlighting the young athlete's potential. Defensive coordinator Brad White shares the same optimistic outlook. He recognizes that depth in the secondary will be essential to keep the starters fresh throughout the games, especially in a schedule as grueling as the SEC. We have a lot of snaps, and we're going to have to rely on them at times, White said, during Lexington's opening luncheon. For him, the group's mentality is a differentiator. Cornerbacks need to adopt a goldfish approach, quickly forgetting mistakes, and focusing on the next play, while safeties will be responsible for anticipating plays and leading the defense. This combination of a resilient mindset and physical preparation puts the secondary in a prime position to thrive. Stoops emphasizes that the next step for these players is improving their football IQ. It's one thing to simply be really aware of the situation. Football IQ, be very intelligent. What's the down and the distance? What's the game situation? What's coming? Anticipating things, he explained, with more experience and exposure to different game scenarios. These athletes have the chance to elevate their performance to a new level. Looking at the construction of this defense, it's clear that Kentucky hasn't simply replaced pieces, but has strengthened an already solid unit. The defensive line continues to evolve, but the secondary emerges as the anchor of this new phase. With experienced leaders guiding emerging talent, there's a synergy that promises to yield significant results. Stoops and White's confidence in these players isn't just rhetoric. It's based on months of hard work, continuous development, and a deep understanding of what each athlete can offer. We're excited to see what's new in this football game. Leave your comments